Alrighty, All Facts Media. My name is Aaron Robinson, joined by my twin brother, Andrew Robinson. And today we're joined by Bruins defenseman and also Quinnipiac men's ice hockey alum, Connor Clifton. Connor, thanks for joining us today.
Yeah, thanks for having me, guys. It's going to be great to catch up.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. So we'll get right into it. Obviously, last night you guys had a huge win to go up 3-1 on the Carolina Hurricanes in the first round of the Eastern Conference playoffs. So and obviously you had a great game, scoring a goal and having an assist for your first multi-point game in the NHL. So what was that moment like for you, just being able to hit the call 2 games ago, coming into the lineup and then having success last night?
Yeah, it was pretty awesome. So it was a great night. Obviously, we couldn't time this any better, huh?
That's right.
Yeah. Anyway, I got hurt this year for a while, so didn't play too many games, and I saw myself just over this quarantine, just getting physically and mentally ready for the bubble and playoff hockey within the bubble. And obviously, yeah, I didn't get the first couple games, but just trying to stay prepared. So when there's an opportunity to play, you jump in, you hit the ground running. And I found my game, I guess, pretty early. So game 3, I went in and thought I played well. And I was fortunate enough to get a goal and assist last night and a big win. And now we're up 3-1. So it's pretty awesome.
Yes, sir. I mean, this isn't your first go around in the playoffs. Obviously, last year, the phrase "Cliffy hockey" kind of became born, and now we're seeing it again. I mean, for you, what is it like to kind of, just going off of last year's playoff success, being able to get your first goal, and then kind of rebounding, and using that this year going into this year's playoffs?
Yeah, so obviously last year it's a lot different because I don't know what to expect. It's playoff hockey. You grow up watching it, every year, and it's just the excitement level is so high. And then, to be in it was just totally different animal, right? And then this year I could use, last year's final run, the experience from that, it's hard to explain, right? When you live through something like that, it was just, you learn so much each day and you just try to get better. And, we've been thinking about that a lot. Obviously to lose in a game 7 and Stanley Cup finals, pretty heartbreaking, but we can use that as fuel and here we are and we're ready to go this year.
Yeah. Now, obviously, you guys are without one of your best players in Tuukka Rask. Obviously, before Game 4, Coach Cassidy talked about the reason that he inserted you into the lineup and coming into Game 3 was with your ability to move the puck. Obviously, also he touched on your postseason experience coming from last year. So, talk a little bit about your game and what you try to bring to the ice. When you're out there for the Bruins.
Yeah, so I try to bring the energy. I try to bring the physical side, and obviously, yeah, you just want to, as a D-man, it's defense first, but you got to move the puck up to the forwards, right? We have really good forwards on our team, so less time you spend in the D zone, the better. My partner Grizz and I, the past 2 games, I think we've done a really good job of just getting it out of the D zone, good in transition, and really playing in the O zone where especially he thrives there. So it's been pretty good.
Now, you mentioned last year's run. Obviously, you guys, like you mentioned, making it to Stanley Cup Game 7. Kind of just talk about that run last season, making it to the Game 7, and just what you think is different this year going into the postseason again. Obviously, you guys were riding pretty hot this year, before the before the whole bubble thing happened. You guys were #1 seed in the Eastern Conference. Kind of talk about just what you guys took from last season into this season.
Yeah, so we have a really good group. We got a good leadership group, great character all around, and great middle and great rookie unit. So we have the whole package, and we believe in ourselves, right? We did last year. We had a great postseason. Obviously, we fell a little short, but you only get so many chances in the playoffs. So we're ready to bring it. Obviously, we prepare all year, and we end up with the first seed. But then, obviously, the break hits and that long pause. Who knows what's going to happen? But I think everyone did their part, staying ready. And obviously, the round robin there, we dropped the 4th seed. But at the end of the day, who really cares? Because we're playing all that. We got to get through all those teams anyway. Yeah, sure, we might play a better team in an earlier round, but at the end of the day, we're gonna have to beat those good teams. And I think it's about clicking at the right time, and especially this, right? There's a 24 team playoff. Like, that's pretty unprecedented and unheard of. So it's obviously coming in, you you just attack it day by day. And I think, we've gotten better each game, and that's all you can ask for.
Yesterday, you guys were down two goals, nothing early. After you came back to win that game, and obviously now you had the opportunity to close the series out tomorrow in Game 5. Talk about what you guys have to do to carry that momentum on from last game and to be able to close this series out in 5.
Yeah, I think it's the mindset. We can't sit back. We wanna go play. We want to push the pace. We want to bring the energy, get it to their net. But yeah, I thought honestly last game we were a little flat in the first and second, and honestly we were fortunate to have only a 2-goal deficit, and the guys were ready to go in the third. It was I wouldn't want to be Carolina when we were coming at them like that, and I think that's the level we can bring. And I think just playing that way, we know that if we bring that for 60, a lot of teams will struggle to defend us.
Now, you mentioned the round robin, and obviously one of the caveats with the bubble is there are no fans. So for you guys, I know one common theme that's been said with the NBA playoffs being in the bubble is that the seedings don't really matter as much because there is no true home court advantage. It's a neutral site. What are your thoughts on that? How do you think you guys jumping from the 1 seed to the 4 seed in the round robin affected you guys, if at all? And just what are your thoughts on the whole round robin system and the bubble being a neutral site in general?
Yeah, I mean, it was obviously it was a unique situation with the pause and everything, but coming in, I thought, the NHL did a good job of setting up. If we weren't going to finish the regular season, what about those, teams in 9th, 10th place, right? And now 12 teams in each conference got in, so it was just kind of how it fell into our laps, right? And yeah, we were first team in the league, and we ended up 4th seed in the East. And I guess it's unfortunate, but at the end of the day, it doesn't really matter, right? I think those round robin games, we kind of used them in exhibition, just to get ready for essentially the real playoffs. And I guess you can't, we're not going to dwell on, dropping from 1 to 4 too much, because we got games to win and series to win. So I think, our main focus is just to push through whoever our opponent is. We're going to have to go through them. And I think that's a good mindset to have.
Yeah. Now, you spoke earlier about the long layoff, obviously, with the coronavirus coming in and halting, the season for the entire NHL, the entire sports world, honestly. What were you guys doing during that time to just try to stay healthy, to try to stay in shape, and just try to stay ready for a potential restart that we are now in? Obviously, I know you said you were nursing some injuries, but just I guess you personally, as well as your team, what were you guys doing, during this whole time period?
Yeah, so everyone was kind of on their own page, and I guess it's about being a professional. So I just came back from injury the game before the pause. So I played in Philly, and then 2 days later we show up for practice and the season's on hold. So I kind of hung around Boston for a while, and then my fiance and I ended up she has a cabin in upstate New York. So honestly, it was great. It was great to get out of the city, sit back. There's a lot of land there. And then it was just a matter of getting physically and mentally ready. Obviously, I took some time off because we knew it would be a long pause. And then, just hit the gym and just start getting mentally ready for I guess at that time, we didn't know really if we were going to finish the regular season or not. But I think we had a good feeling that we were going to play and that we wanted to play, especially with this special group of guys we have in the room there. But obviously, yeah, it was tough, but everyone's on the same, on their, at their own homes and on their own pages doing their thing. Just comes down to the guy just to do your own thing to get ready. And I think we did a good job. When phase 3 hit and everyone was allowed back in Boston, the guys were ready to go. They were excited, and it was a good feel around the room.
So now, obviously, we're all athletes here. We're us, playing basketball, and you obviously being a hockey player. For you, talk to the casual fan about the difference playing inside the bubble with no fans. Obviously, in a regular game, you guys, get pumped up from the fans. You score a goal, you go up to the glass and things like that. What is the difference playing, inside the bubble now, where the arena's empty? You can't really feed off the energy of the fans. I mean, kind of just talk about that. What that's like for you, as an athlete.
Honestly, it feels like, when you're a kid, you're going to the rink at really early in the morning, and there's no fans there, and you're just playing the game you love. I think it really comes down to that. Yeah, there's no energy from the fans, but we got to rely on each other, on teammates to create that energy for you. A big play, a big hit, big block shot. It's all the little things. Like in the third yesterday, I've never seen our bench more excited, at least for a really long time. So I think it's just the little things you got to do, and you got to appreciate guys, putting in the work and making plays and sacrificing their body for hit or block. And it kind of just brings me back, it's no fans, and it's a unique situation because playing at the TD Garden, last playoffs, they gave us a lot of energy, and to not have that, it kind of, evens the playing field for those home teams. That's why, obviously 1 to 4 dropping would be a huge deal if, we're sacrificing home games in front of our crowd, but that's just not the case right now. And it's pretty crazy, honestly. It's who would have thought, but here we are, and we're ready to go.
Now, for those that don't know, obviously, just give us a little glimpse of what life is like inside the NHL bubble. Obviously, we had a Orlando Magic forward on earlier talking about the NBA bubble. There's a lot of stuff on here on Twitter earlier about the food in the NBA bubble and the stuff that they guys are doing, like fishing and all that type of stuff. So talk about the NHL bubble. What's the food like? What does a normal day look like for you guys? And, how they got you guys living over there in the bubble?
I'm not going to lie. They sent out a bunch of memos before we got here, and it was kind of similar to, I kind of expected how it is. So basically, we're in the bubble, right? We're testing, we're nose swabbing every morning. And those aren't great, but they're not the worst ones. They're not the ones that go up to your brain. So it's not that bad, right? The normal day, the food's actually been pretty good. For the first 2 weeks, we got a lot of the dinners were pretty similar. So I think the guys are getting sick of them. But then they've been great. That was like the first 2 weeks, but they've been cooking some good food. We get breakfast and usually dinner every night, sometimes lunch. If they don't have lunch though, Uber Eats, and there's a bunch of restaurants actually on the premises. We got a steakhouse, Italian place. And then there's like a rooftop bar up on the 28th floor. There's actually a pool, big patio, and then the inside portion is this little bar, serve some food. We didn't spend too much time up there. Don't worry, guys. And now it's kind of like, I was thinking, when you play those like youth hockey tournaments when you're a kid and you're at the hotels and you see all the other kids, you see in every other team, I kind of thought it'd be like that. You're going to like see like who you're playing in a game 7, in a 7-game series. So like what's going, Yeah. But we don't really see that many other teams around. Everyone's schedule is just a little different. Like practice times obviously vary. The practice facility, I guess the Toronto Marlies, so the AHL team, I think we're at that practice facility, and there's like 4 ice sheets. So we got our own locker room. We shared it with like Philly and the Rangers. So there must have been 3 teams in each rink. So like the practice time was either like 10, noon, or 3. So everyone's schedule is just a little different. And honestly, it's been pretty good. Like we get our ice every day. Game days obviously a little different, right? Just you sometimes pregame skate depending on if like when we have a late game. That 8 p.m. last night was we would skate in the morning, pregame meal, lay down for a nap, bus over to the rink, but then for the noon game, you kind of just wake up, eat breakfast, go play hockey. So on that basis, it's a little different. But yeah, I don't have too many complaints, honestly. It's been pretty good.
Nice. So, change the gears a little bit. Obviously, we met back at Quinnipiac University, one of the best hockey programs in America. Not looking too far ahead, but you all have a chance to close out, this series in the first round and potentially match up against the Islanders, who are also up on the Capitals right now in their series. And you have opportunity to potentially match up against another Quinnipiac alum and Devontae's in the playoffs. Now, obviously, you guys were teammates at Quinnipiac. What do you think about just the idea that you guys potentially be facing off, in the Stanley Cup playoffs. You guys are both playing great right now. I mean, what would that moment be like for you, for the university and just for Quinnipiac hockey fans just everywhere?
It's awesome. It's honestly awesome. I remember, my first day at Quinnipiac, I show up, my brother Tim and we show up, we go to Irma and we're in a quad unit and we walk in with my parents and, Taser's sitting on the bed in the other room, kind of just think about that moment. First time I met him and obviously really good friends now. And it would be special, honestly. I wouldn't hesitate when he's coming across the middle to give him a hit, though. Definitely. I don't think he'd do that, though. I think he'd get it in deep.
We respect nothing less from Clifty hockey. Yeah. I mean, Drew touched on it as well. Just the growth of Quinnipiac ice hockey. I mean, over the last 10 years, I think that they're at least one of the top 3 or 4 teams in the country as far as wins. Obviously, you, Chase Prisky, also in the same bubble as you. Then obviously, Brogan Rafferty is over in his bubble on the West Coast. So just to have 4 players from one program, all being involved in this NHL restart, in the playoffs, just talk a little bit about the development of the program and, what you took from that university and how it's helped you in your professional career.
Yeah, honestly, it's the 4 years there, it worked wonders for my hockey career. I definitely think I'd be in a different situation now if I didn't attend Quinnipiac. Obviously, Rand, B, his whole staff. I had for 3 years, my D coach was Reed Cashman, actually, who's the D coach on the Capitals right now. So he's going against Taser. But man, just in terms of development, like I can't even put it on a chart how much better I got and how much I learned from all those guys during my 4 years there. They just do an incredible job of, breeding hockey players and young men and getting them ready for life. I think even if, I wasn't playing hockey right now, I'd be prepared for whatever I was trying to do in life, which will eventually come, when I'm done with hockey. But it's just a special place. This special, staff that, cares, and it's pretty awesome, looking back at my time there.
Now, obviously, looking forward, what do you guys think you guys have to do to kind of get back to the Stanley Cup this year, but have a different result and kind of be able to walk away from this season Stanley Cup champions?
Yeah, so we have our goal every year, and the goal in the room is to win the Stanley Cup, and it's no easy task. But I think it's about, obviously, this playoffs is different than any other one, but I think it's about getting better each day and relying on each other and believing in each other. And, we know we have the group that can accomplish it. And I think we got the coaches and the game plan to do it. We just got to go out there and execute and be ready to go each night. Just keep getting better each game.
Now, for you personally, obviously, you've had a long journey to get to where you are today, obviously from being drafted by the Arizona Coyotes back at Quinnipiac to playing in the AHL with Providence to eventually, making your way to the NHL, to the Bruins, and then finally cracking the lineup and then having been able to score a goal last year in the Stanley Cup final and then capping it off, obviously, last night with a goal and an assist. What do you, just talk a little bit about your journey and, what you think what do you think you've been able to do to get yourself to the point that you are today, and then what you think you have to do to keep on improving and to keep on to get better and reach the points where you want to go in your career?
Yeah, so I think I have I've had the privilege to play with, so many great players, and you can learn so much from other guys, especially with you got Europeans and Canadians and all different backgrounds coming in and being your teammate and, getting to know guys and becoming friends with guys. I think you just learn a little something from each guy. And I think it's just wanting to learn and wanting to get better and putting in the effort. I mean, you guys know, right? I wouldn't want to work out with you two.
The feeling is mutual. The feeling is mutual. We watch you guys work out over there on the hockey side.
Yeah, little different, but I've seen you guys in the gym. Come on.
Great times.
Very, very, very
Yeah,
good times,
yeah.
good times, for sure.
Yeah, I think it's just about, taking it day by day, not trying. I think, what am I thinking of? You know, I was thinking that it's not, how quick you get to, the next level. It's how long you can last, right? Like, I love hockey and I've loved hockey since I was a kid, and I want to make a long career out of it. In order to do that, you gotta be the best you can every day and continue to learn. And that's kind of my mindset, and it's been since I was a kid, and I've been pretty fortunate. I've played in the NHL, and a lot of things had to fall in place for me to get here, and I just kind of feel blessed and fortunate to be in this situation today.
Yes, sir. Now, for the people who don't know, and may not be familiar, you just give the common viewer a synopsis of Cliffy hockey. Just what is the name? Kind of how did it come to be, and kind of what does the name mean to you?
So when I get this, I never really know how it started. So when I was in Prov, my first year in Prov, it was Kenny Agostino. He actually grew up in New Jersey. He played in Del Barton. I played against him, I guess, my freshman year, his senior year. It was him, Jordan Swartz, and our captain that year, and my coach, Jay Leach. So I don't know, one of them started it, right? I think it was Kenny, but I guess it was, I don't really even know how it came to be. And it was just like, they would be like, oh, do some crazy shit. And I'd be like, what? What do you mean? But I heard Torrey Krug explain it one time as like just plays on instincts. And I thought that was, the best description, because, when I'm in the zone, I'm not thinking. You don't have to think, right? You put in so much work and practices and all that. You just play, and I think that's one of my best. It's just an aggressive style, instinctual style, and just try to go, and just compete. I think that's the best way someone's explained it.
Now, on a lighter note, you've been in the bubble now for a few weeks. What's the funniest thing that you experienced in the bubble? The craziest thing you've seen, or maybe just the funniest, team moment or a thing that you kind of experienced while you've been in the bubble?
Ooh. Funniest thing, huh? I'm on the spot here.
Even something that might have caught you off guard, something that you didn't expect, that was like, oh my God, well, okay, I see how this is gonna go.
I mean, I guess one thing that really surprised me, you're getting ready to play, a playoff game. I guess this was a round robin game for us. My first game, it was our third round robin game. I got put in the lineup against the Caps, and I remember just going out for warm-ups. Usually there's fans there, and I'm in the zone. I'm listening to music. I'm warming up. I'm just trying to get ready to play this playoff game, because they're considering those playoff games, and you want to win every game you play, right? And you go out and there's no fans, and I was like, what? What? So you kind of, you're in the bubble and there's no fans, but I hadn't thought about it in an hour, right? And then I get out there and there's really no fans. That was pretty crazy, but otherwise, I think just the experience, like, it's awesome we're playing right now. Like I said, we read some memos about what the bubble would be like and all the things we could do. I didn't mention in our hotel there's this big sports complex too connected to it. So we got like tennis courts, squash courts. Mm-hmm. There's some basketball courts, but I won't go on those. Too many air balls. And like a golf simulator. So that's pretty cool. We didn't really know about that. That was the only thing where we were like, that was pretty eye-opening. There's a big gym too. You guys would love that. I haven't been in there yet.
You guys can go to the basketball gym and do your little basketball soccer thing you guys used to do before the game.
Yeah.
Thing, but I'm sure you can bring it back for the bubble.
We actually stay in the Raptors room. So one of the teams gets at the Scotiabank Arena. One team gets like the Raptors room. One team gets the Leafs room. I'm pretty sure for the games. Or I think there's 4 locker rooms actually and 2 guest rooms. Well, when you get the Raptors room, you get to go upstairs to the like half court and this big gym. Like, it's pretty sick. We play our soccer in there. We played a couple games of knockout. I didn't last too long, but
don't worry, man. We'll get you right for next time. Come down and see
that's
it.
right. Yes. I need the help for sure.
Yeah, for sure, man. Well, I know you have a playoff game to get ready for, so we won't hold you for too much longer, man. But definitely want to thank you for your time, man, and we wish you guys the best of luck, in your journey throughout the rest of the playoffs, man. And definitely want to just reiterate just how we appreciate obviously knowing you at Quinnipiac. You're definitely outstanding guy to know, outstanding friend. And I'm just thank you again for your time coming on and joining us tonight, man. We definitely
this was awesome. Thank you guys for having me. You guys rock.
No problem, man. No problem. Tell Bruce Cassidy, give us that Prince House 14 skates. I'm the man.
All right. I think Big Z probably has bigger feet, so he definitely sizes that big.
All right, perfect. We'll trade. We'll go in the ice. And
I like that.
You on the court.
I would love to see that.
All right, perfect, man. Just no problem. Probably not to hit me too hard. I don't know if I can take it.
I wouldn't hit you, man. I'd stay away. I know better. Like I said, I've seen you in the gym.
All right, well, thanks so much for your time. Best of luck to you guys tomorrow, and we'll be watching you guys. So just keep pushing forward and good luck.
Awesome. Thank you, guys. You guys are the best.
No problem.
Be safe.
Yes,
See you
sir.
guys.
Man, too.